Hello Hoovies and welcome back to the main channel. Today we're going to talk about, it's technically, it's a Doctor Who documentary, but it's not a collection book documentary. It's made by the same team and it's a DVD, Blu-ray, Steelbook, depending on which copy you bought, documentary. Now, let's talk about it. So, The Abominable Snowman is a second Doctor story that is immensely amazing, both when it wasn't animated and when it was animated, because we've got some of the footage left, and obviously we have the telesnaps, so we've always been able to see this story in a version. They animated it. The animation looks amazing, and to go ahead and make it more amazing, the DVD has a available Doctor Who documentary made by Chris Chapman's team, and it's another cracking one. It's called Troughton in Tibet. Obviously it wasn't filmed in Tibet, but it was trying to look like Tibet, and if I'm not mistaken at all, it was Mount Snowdon. It was in Wales. Wales has... It's Wales and Scotland, I think, personally, that have the most beautiful hills, beautiful scenery, and good places to film Doctor Who. So, this documentary is presented, I'll say that again, presented by the amazing, previously I've interviewed him, so you will have seen him on this channel, Toby Haydock, who, by all counts, is a actor, comedian, and presenter. He does quite a few of the collection box set documentaries, like the Looking For series, or etc. and so forth. And this one, he's meeting long-time friend, and hopefully I get to interview him one day, Fraser Hines, aka Jamie, because Jamie, this is the on-ground team. I'll get to this. So, this documentary uses a lot of, interviews from excess people that weren't on set with Toby Haydock that day. So there's a wide selection of other things happening when it cuts away from them. But the main premise is that Fraser Hines hasn't seen it since he filmed. Toby Haydock has got a load of material with him to say, oh, this is where you did such and such a thing, and then showed him an image of it, of what it used to look like. And you get, from Fraser Hines anywhere, you get, because Toby Haydock is trying to funnel something magical, something nice, something happy out of Fraser. So he's making him feel as happy as possible. And Fraser comes up with the greatest stories. So do all the other contributors, all the other people that are in it. And it just looks gorgeous. Again, I watched this last year on a loop. Due to, and I think I mentioned this in my review of Terence and Me, it was for my documentary, John Comment, the Man Who Was Doctor Who, and it was because I wanted to be inspired by two styles of Doctor Who documentary. So the style of what Terence and Me was, plus this style. So my documentary was a merger of the two styles, and this, it's what I like to call a masterclass in going, right, so we've got this one set, there's nothing more to it, let's make a cracking documentary with the best drone shots, with there's nothing I could say that is what would have been better. And again, I will say this, it's non-negative, this is if we could have, it would have been better if we had Patrick Troughton there as well, and sadly that wasn't ever going to happen, because none of this were all happening in Patrick Troughton this time. But you do think it's like Patrick Troughton would have loved that, He would have loved to appear in that. He would have loved to do this, that, the other. And so, that's the... If I have to give a negative, right, and I have to give a far-fetched negative, then that's it, because it's like, I really love this documentary, and I just can't get enough of it. I've seen it so many times now, it's like, oh yeah, I know that bit when the drone comes in and the title appears. I know that bit where Toby Haydock says, oh, Joe blah blah blah, which I'll get onto in a minute as one of my favourite moments. So the very end of the documentary is my favourite moment, because Toby Haydock says, one thing they weren't allowed to tell you then was this actually works. And bearing in mind, they'd already appeared inside the TARDIS set. So what they'd done is they had got a TARDIS, like, prop-wise, not really a TARDIS. Neither it is in the documentary. The whole point is that this is, like, where the Doctor landed in that story. And you open the door and it's like got, like, pink and blue flower arrangements on it, which I think, personally, it is rather humorous, rather comical, and rather funny, if I've got to say so myself. The best bit, other than that, is just watching Fraser Hines' face as Toby goes, oh, I remember, do you remember when you were hiding behind that, Rolly? Oh, yeah. And then you hear that, I think, let's step away from the main action now as I sit back, propping up my chair. So, other than the main action of Toby and Fraser, we've got all these other people being interviewed. And you've got, like, makeup artists and some of the before. I think what the best one is that when you watch, I don't know, most things which are still ongoing, you don't really hear much about the monster wrangle, well, the monster people, the people that are in the costume, as much as you do now. So I thought it was fascinating to know what it was like to be in one of those snowman costumes. Yeti, that's it. The Yeti costume. Because when you look at it, you think, oh, that's like one of the, that's like, what's he called? That's like Mr. Blobby. It's the same. It's not. Mr. Blobby is probably a lot lighter than a Yeti was. But bearing in mind anything Doctor Who does, it's probably a lot heavier than the costume for Mr. Blobby. Might I add, dear viewers. And I just think the costume looks amazing. It's nice to hear from the costume operator within, and it's nice to hear from, like, passers-by, people that live nearby, because obviously back then you couldn't say, oh, I felt like Doctor Who, and like millions and millions of people would rock up. You didn't get that. So a family turning up because they live nearby and they heard some rumours of some filming going on is a really nice story. It's nice to have them involved in this documentary, because it's I'm going to use this word, and I'm going to mention it more on my third channel, The Weird Side, because it's a word that makes a lot of things go, oh, that makes sense. I think this documentary is gentle, is the word I want to use. It's on the list of gentle documentaries, and I think that's what makes this documentary really good, that it is just gentle and it is perfect. And a lot of things now are after that gentle feeling in British TV. So having a documentary about Doctor Who, and it's a topic that the fans want to hear about. I want to know how the Abominable Snowman was made. I want to know what Toby Haydock can find out from Fraser Hines. I want to know why on earth it all looks beautiful, and what Fraser Hines thinks so many years later, and what is Fraser Hines' memory. And Chris Chapman and the team they always smash it down the park. And this, I'll be honest, and I won't say this very often in these reviews of the DVD, Blu-ray, collection box set documentaries, I can't, hand on heart, say anything bad. It's not that I'm not being forced, I'm not being paid, I'm not being anything. I'm not saying anything negative, it's just when I'm trying to think, right, I want to review this, but I need to come up with a balanced review. What did I not like about the documentary, and what did I think could have been improved? And I just think, well, there's the obvious one, but the obvious one is like, I wish it went on forever. I wish it never ended. I wish it was slightly longer. But other than that, I can't think of a single negative to go, that's terrible. No, because it's amazing, and it's what inspired me, really. The work of Chris Chapman and his team and everyone that works on collection material, excess material, right? So everyone that does all the behind the sofas, the biopics and whatever, you name it, they've done it. Everything that all the other ones that Chris Chapman doesn't do, because I know Chris Chapman and his team do a lot, but the ones that he doesn't do are also incredible, amazing, and they all inspire me. Even though Terrence and Me and Troughton in Tibet are my main inspirations, everything else is just a bonus add-on. And that's what inspired me for my college work, for you, for me, to try and recreate one of those documentaries. Asking all my contributors, well, I'm trying to make it like this, because they're all Doctor Who fans anyway. They know what I meant, and that works in our favour. So, I'd like to say, if you're watching this, Chris Chapman and the team, thank you for making a wonderful and amazing documentary over the years you've been doing it. Do not stop. Do not stop it. I do think, as I said before, my favourite bits are when Frasier's reliving moments and we get to see the set now, what it looks like now, and then we got to see a comparison of what it looked like in that episode with the bit that we've got left. And it's fun to hear the story he's got to tell. I just could listen to Toby and Frasier all day. So, to round off this video, and to round off this review, let's just talk about my favourite moment once more. It's the TARDIS bit at the very end where he says, right, let's go. And then they fly up in the TARDIS, the music rolls, the credit rolls, and it's absolutely amazing from that moment on. So, there you have it. Thank you guys for watching. Tower to Apps. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.